Hello?
Hey, Randall, I'm calling about your drone that you got for sale.
Yeah,
Yeah, what kind of cameras you got on that?
for the $2,500, the camera's not included.
Does this just hover around?
It's not something that's built for somebody that doesn't have experience with drones. It's very, very involved.
Yeah.
I would say if you don't have experience with drones, you probably don't want to start here.
Yeah, it's not for me. It's for my 12-year-old son.
Oh,
Yeah, I need a toy
has
for
he
him.
has he flown radio-controlled helicopters?
No, but he's pretty smart. I just want to get him a toy to get started with drones.
Yeah, I mean, I'm absolutely willing to sell you this thing. I'd love to get some cash out of it, but I really recommend starting off with something more simple if you've never flown a radio-controlled helicopter. This is really advanced. I mean, these things retail for $10,000. It's
Oh,
not
what
a
are you saying?
screw
He's
around.
stupid
It's not
or
a screw around
something?
machine. It's a professional cinematography rig.
You calling him stupid?
I'm not calling him stupid, sir. No, I'm just saying
Listen,
that it's
Peter's
a very
a pretty smart
expensive
kid.
thing. And
Peter's a smart kid. I can't believe you'd say that.
I didn't say that, sir.
No,
I'm
you
just
said
saying
you'd
that for
sell it to
200
him,
bucks
but then
you
you
could
said
get-
you wouldn't sell it to him because he's not smart enough to operate it.
I never said that. You can buy it. I'll sell it to you tonight. You can come and get it. No problem. I'm just recommending
insulted
that you
my
start with
kid.
something easier.
You completely insulted my kid.
I didn't do that at all. That's
You
ridiculous.
said he was an idiot. You can't fly it.
I never said that.
You said you'd sell it to me, but you don't want to because it's not recommended for him. He's a smart kid.
I've been doing this for 25 years, and I just stepped up to the level of flying this level of aircraft.
Listen, you don't know Peter. He plays with all kinds of Nintendo games, and he does real well with the flight simulators.
That's great. Would you like to come and pick this thing up?
Yes.
Okay. You have $2,500 cash?
I can give you like 800. Would you take 800?
No. I think our conversation is over, sir.
What's up? Dizzle here, and you're listening to The Men's View, and I'm here with the Bonafide Hustler!
What's up, the Bonafide Hustler is here!
And CMFK, we don't know where he is, man.
MIA, CMFK.
CMFK, MIA, he's never here. Cause he's working on his house and he'll never get it done. We were just talking about him before we even started the show, huh? And what do you think's going on with the guy? You had a theory.
I have a theory that it's something much more than, how do I say it? As much as it's a topic of discussion that we always like to talk about, and it seems like the whole neighborhood talks about it every now and then, I think it's much deeper than that. I think it's the signs of something much more mental and disorder-like, honestly.
So you think it's depression going on with him?
I would be, I told you this before, I would be willing to bet a significant amount of money on this, yes.
I don't know. Should we ask him on the next show whenever he comes on? You want
No one
bring it
that's
up?
depressed will tell you that they're depressed. It's like if I call someone out for being an alcoholic or smoking too much marijuana, it's, affecting their life, they would not admit it, right? Like, you ever seen that 12-step kind of stuff?
Yeah, I guess the first step is denial, right?
Well, the first step is saying, I understand I am hopeless with alcohol. I understand I am hopeless when it comes to weed. I understand, that kind of stuff. That's the very first step, is admittal, right? I mean, admitting.
Admittance.
Yeah, admittance.
Yeah, I don't see it at all where he's being in depression. I just think he's really bad at prioritizing, because if you look at his house, what's going on right now, we actually went in there trying to find the secondary GoPro to shoot the other camera angle. And his house is torn apart. So he's got a new hole now in his ceiling to where it's drywall all over the floor.
In the garage now.
Right.
And the garage was perfectly fine.
So there's new holes that appear in the ceiling.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. See, the thing is, I think you go over there a little bit less often than I see what's going on, because I'm his next door neighbor, across the street neighbor.
Yeah, but do you actually just
There's something really wrong
do you
there.
spy on him and find out
No,
stuff, or are you actually going to
absolutely
talk
not.
to him?
You could, if you just saw what is that word I'm looking for? Maybe transgression. When something proceeds from it.
Right, progression.
The progression. If you saw it, I think you would understand. It's not normal human behavior. Whether you don't like to prioritize or not, it's not normal behavior is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so I think there's a much deeper thing there. And he's one of our really good friends, and we don't even know what to do.
Yeah, I don't think it's depression at all, because I was there the other day, and he's actually, I think what you're seeing is him actually starting to work on his house and get shit done, because he's realizing.
But he's putting more holes in it, though. You can't start it when you're making
But that's
it worse.
his problem. Yeah, he starts one project
Never finishes it all the way.
and he'll do it for a day and then he'll go demolish another part of his house. It looks like those Syrian, when you see the bombed out cities, you know, Dresden and Germany and all those places just gone through war. That's what it looks like. I mean, his wife is about to be living in rubble. Like he pulls the wrong brick out of one room.
Right.
The whole house is going to collapse.
Yeah, could be like World
It's like a
Trade Center.
Jenga house.
No, but I mean, I can just tell you, like right now, like just on a visual sense, there's like an upside down couch in his like sidewalk, right? So I'm just kind of trying to paint a picture for everybody. There's some tables that are like some oak tables that are nice that might have been. I think he might be refinishing them, but they're on their side somewhere in his yard, in the middle of a yard. There's a really nice deck that is complete now, but it's not even put together. There's no chairs on it or nothing. There are 2 tarps that are blowing around in the wind on his front lawn, and there are several, if not 8, about 8 smaller buckets like randomly placed in the lawn. There's a ditch going from his front yard to his backyard. If you look at his backyard, it looks like insane.
Yeah.
And then there's a gigantic fuel barrel sitting on the side of the house in between him and his neighbor.
Yeah, I don't understand. Your
This is
neighbors
nuts,
don't
dude.
complain?
Oh, I'm pretty sure something's going to happen.
I think the guy next door is getting annoyed, right? The old guy?
It's not think. It's absolutely.
Has
just
he-
like
has he talked to
when
you?
you lived in our neighborhood and the
Right.
guy next to you didn't take care of his lawn, didn't take care of whatever.
Why don't you do what I did? Be a good neighbor and actually go
It's far
fix his
beyond,
house.
bro. It's far beyond. I can't.
Because what I did,
I don't have the time for that. Neither do you.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't have the time for that.
Well, I got sick of looking at my neighbor's house.
Yeah.
His lawn was terrible. And like, it was some Chinese couple, like straight out of China. And he'd come in there and one day I go outside and he's got a spoon, like a spatula.
Right.
And he's opened up the sewer pipe area and he's just stabbing it like furiously and like shit's flying out of the pipe. And he's just stabbing this thing with the spatula. And his wife's sitting there just yelling at him. And then I go talk, I'm on that Nextdoor app.
Right.
And a lot of people are on there like asking, what do I do about my neighbor? The lawn looks filthy. Like nobody communicates or talks to their neighbors anymore, it seems like, you know?
We do. I know all my neighbors.
Yeah, you live in a cul-de-sac. When you're not in the cul-de-sac, it's a little bit different on a main street. You know, it's basically the
Yeah, I
guy
guess
next
you're
to you
right.
is pretty much a stranger. You know, there's cars
true.
flying through. They don't talk to each other. I talked to a couple of my neighbors, although one of them I wish I didn't talk to because we don't get along anymore. So I can go in that story at some point. But yeah, I went over to my neighbor and I just tried to find out. I'm like, hey, man, your lawn looks terrible. What's going on? And he's like, yeah, I hate it. I don't know what to do about it.
What'd you do?
So I told him like, hey, you don't even have grass anymore. It's just weeds, right? Like, and your lawn's dried out from the drought. So what you need to do, and I showed him this special grass they make in Texas that I forgot what the name of the grass is, but the University of Texas invented it. And it's a mixture of a bunch of grasses that only do well in Texas. Like you don't.
Is it St. Augustine, Georgia?
No, St. Augustine's not good. It's a mix of like 5 different wild grasses, but when you mow it, it looks perfect.
Okay.
And it doesn't need almost any water. So I got him that seed. He hired a bunch of guys to like just guys you find at Home Depot hanging out.
Right.
And they came and just messed up his lawn. They plowed it, I guess, but they didn't do too good a job. It was now the water's like all over the place because it's not even. And they planted it and it grew and it started looking good. And then I moved out that house. And now when I drive by to come to your house,
It's all fucked.
it's a mess again.
Jeez.
So it's a lot to do with the person too. You know, you can't. It's like, you know, when those people win the lottery, they win $300 million, and you're like, God, they're set for life. But if it's in the wrong hands, it's gone. Like there's guys. There's one guy that I think it was like one of the largest lotteries ever. It was like $430 million,
Right.
and he lost it all, like homeless again. Like. You
I
know,
don't know.
because you put money into somebody's hand. That's why when I see comments about Donald Trump, like, oh, his dad gave him $10 million, and if you would just put it in a bank account, it'd be worth just as much. I'm like, let's see you take $1 million or whatever he says it is and turn it into 11 billion. You know, it's not going to happen. The odds of that are infinite almost. It's not an easy thing to do, you know? That's like turning 10 cents into $1 million, you know? It doesn't happen. But speaking of financial stuff, I'm trying to get out from under this car I bought. Like I bought a car just to floss in, just to kind of have fun. Because whenever I wasn't doing the podcast, I was like, I'm bored as shit. And I always like having a cool car.
It's a crisis mobile.
I don't know. It's like I don't go into
That's
crisis
a crisis
mode.
mobile. It's definitely the most crisis of all crisis cars. There are 3 different kinds of there are 3 actual crisis cars out there. You know what they are?
You're talking about like midlife crisis.
Yeah, like you have a midlife crisis, so you're going to buy one of these 3 cars usually. Take a guess on what any of the 3 are.
Well, I'm guessing it's definitely not a Prius. right?
No, it's
All
not
right.
that.
Midlife crisis car.
There are 3 of them.
Possibly a Mercedes?
No.
Do you want the brand or the model?
I want the brand plus either the model or the general model of what it is.
So I won't name my car yet because obviously you think it's one of them.
It's 100% one of them.
Really? Okay.
Yes. Think about it, man.
Give me a hint.
BMW.
Okay, BMW, the brand.
Yeah.
What, like a 3 Series?
3 Series, yes.
Okay.
That's a crisis.
See, to me, a
An
3
M3
Series is I want to look like I have money, but I really don't.
Right. An M3 is super crisis mobile.
Right.
Yeah, easily. The second one, Infinity. Which one?
No.
Yes, dude.
G35?
G35, G37.
Are you serious? That's a crisis mobile?
That's a crisis mobile, dude.
No.
Tell you right now, it's a crisis
That's
mobile.
more like a younger
That's
guy.
like I
trying
can't
to...
afford the BMW, but I want to be in I want to look cool.
Okay. But see, to me, crisis mobile, you
That's
can't...
a crisis mobile, dude.
So what's the third one? This is what I have.
This is what you got. A Corvette, but an older one.
Right.
Not
like
a brand new
like
one.
a C4.
Because no one can afford the fucking new ones.
Jeez, the new ones are amazing. There's
They're
one,
really
the
nice. They
Aero...
look like a Batmobile.
No, the Aero kit is $140,000. Like when my car came out,
It
it
looks
was...
like a superhero's car, right?
Oh, yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing looking.
Although the base model is like, it still looks amazing, but when you get this...
Z06 looks incredible.
Well, there's a Z06 and you get an Aero package that's $38,000 just a package.
Okay.
And it's like just a looks package too.
Because last generation's Corvettes, they made one called a ZR1, which is really rare. And it has a transparent... piece of the hood is transparent, and you can see the top of the supercharger. Anyway, that one's extremely rare. In fact, when you at the gym that you work out in, the biggest dude at the gym actually owns one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a
Who's the
ZR1.
biggest guy at the
So
gym?
you need to open up your eyes, man. Because a ZR1 is a freaking sick car.
Oh,
man.
yeah, I was looking at him. There's one right now on Craigslist, but it's $89,000.
The white one. The white ZR1 is incredible.
So let me see if I can pull up this Z Aero package.
I'm looking for that. Show me this Aero thing, dude. Those all look like old vets, man. All
Oh,
of them.
you know what? It's a C7. That's why.
Okay, I was about to say those don't look that good.
So
that's okay.
yeah, it's something like this right here, and it's on our YouTube
That
page.
looks like something that belongs in Le Mans.
Yeah,
It's a GT3 race. It is like a Le Mans car. Where's this Aero kit you're
GT3
talking
racer.
about?
I don't know, but it's amazing.
Dude, Z06,
I think this is the front end of it. Yeah, the Aero package right there.
pretty nice.
Aero,
I think I've seen one of those, or two maybe.
AERO Aero package. So like the gills on the side, it's got
Right.
a way bigger spoiler on the back. The gills stand out.
I've
It's
seen
got the
that.
front
I've
kit,
seen those. Yeah, those are crazy.
and then the side with some rims, and then, like that's like $140,000 vet. But it's still a great deal if you look at it. It's like 0 to 60 in what 2.7 seconds.
They're really good bangs for the buck.
So, well, everything's a bang for the buck now. Like even like I got a C5 vet, which is like a 2097 to 2004.
I had one.
Yeah, you had one when it was pretty new.
I had it when it was okay
You
to
had
have
a
the crisis. I had a
purple one.
pre-crisis.
Dude. You had a
dude.
purple one, which
I'll get you a high-res
can't-
picture of it, and you will be like, "Damn."
it
I'll
looked
get you a
nice,
high-res, you
but
will
the
be
color
damned.
made you look like a girl, like driving. Like you would
So
think
that
it's a
explains why
chick
I
in
got
there.
tons of girls in that car. That would explain.
No,
all that.
you're gonna get girls in a vet, but
Did.
when it's purple, like
It's
guys are
amethyst
gonna look
purple.
at it and be like,
It's
it's a
not
nice
the purple
car.
that you're thinking of. It's not like the purple that we have behind you on the screen. This is a very deep metallic purple. It's like interesting looking. If you looked up rare amethyst Corvette, you would
Amethyst.
see
See, that's what you have to tell people. You're like, I got an amethyst Corvette. Like, because you
Dude,
don't want to say I got a purple
there's
vet.
only like 224 made in that year.
There's a reason nobody wants them.
I've only seen it once after I sold mine. You know that? That's
Right.
how freaking rare it is to see it. There's even one more rare than that. It's called Fairway Green. There's only 137 of those or something like that.
Right.
Fairway
Well, mine
green.
is the best color. It's called
It's called gray.
it's called Cyber Metallic Gray.
That's when you have a crisis car. When they have to call it something.
But yeah, I'm
crazy.
putting it on Craigslist, right? I'm trying to sell this thing because
Dude,
I'm
you
like,
fucked up, dude.
why?
Because last time that you talked to me about this thing, you said that you got an offer that was
I got a full price offer with what I had paid taxes on it.
Wait, is this pre app Batmobile software that you have in there? Your
No,
thing's
that's
like a
the thing. I'm trying to get the money back on. I made the whole because the interior on the 04 is like really old looking.
It's like terrible.
Yeah, so I gutted it, and now it looks like a 2016 like fully modern. I have like full internet,
It's
screens,
nice, yeah.
everything in there. Whole
You're
system.
you're trying
I'm trying to
get
get.
that back.
I spent about
can't.
$1,500 on that.
You can't get that back.
Yeah, so I'm thinking
That's
I'm
what
going to eat
happens
it.
with upgrades. You don't get those back.
Well, here's my issue with what's going on. So I guess the economy's bad. People can't really afford a car like that.
No, it only happens to be 2 or 3 fucking generations old, like Corvette.
Yeah, but people
now. You're
still
buying
buy them.
It's an old Corvette, though.
But I guess because like at that price, the price it gets into at that point,
Yeah.
it's getting into the hands of like shitheads can afford it.
How much did you spend on this car?
Like
16,000, right?
16,400.
And then you spend like 15.
With taxes, I was like 18.5, and that's the offer I got.
Holy shit!
I should have taken it.
Oh, so you would have just eaten the app stuff you put in there,
Right. I was basically going to eat all the like about $1,500 worth of apps.
and you
stuff.
got an offer that was like face value, basically.
Yeah, I should have taken it.
No, you should.
No, I should have negotiated. I'm reading a book on negotiating, and you don't want the other guy to feel like he's having a bad deal. Mm-hmm. So when you initially like, oh fuck you, I'm not taking that kind of thing.
Right.
When he offers you, he basically feels like he's getting a bad deal. So you want to negotiate somewhat, and he would have probably gone up to 19.5. I would have bet. But I was so like blow off on him the moment he said it.
What year was yours again?
04?
I can't remember if mine was an 04 and 01.
No,
Either
yours was
way.
01.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because you had told me.
I think it was.
You
an
told me,
01.
hey, you want to buy at least a 02 because I had problems. That's what you told me.
Okay, so maybe I bought an 01. I got mine for 20.
Yeah, but you got it back in the day.
20,500.
Way back in the day.
80,000 miles though. 70.
Right. Yeah. So mine's pretty low miles. But here's the
crazy.
issue I'm getting. So I guess it's just shitheads trying to buy that car. Other than that one offer,
Yeah.
it's guys emailing me now saying,
Will you take 15? Will you take 13?
no. Hey, would you want to finance this car for me?
What?
Like individuals want it. Like that is the worst. I'm like, I'm not a bank. I mean,
Really?
think about this. So, and they always have like they're trying to make it so I'll get insurance on it. Don't worry. If anything happens to
that.
it, you can just take it back. And I'm just thinking, okay, so I'm going to get no money from this guy. He's going to drive around in my car and pay me like $200-$300 a month. Immediately, he's going to be some shithead. I can't afford it this month, man. Sorry. He's going to start hiding my car
And guess
from
what?
me.
You don't have the car either.
Right. So it's the worst. And guys, I'm only bringing this up as kind of a warning to people that get these kind of people on Craigslist trying to offer you this kind of money. Don't trust anyone like that. That's called a bad financial decision. And CMFK's done it. So I had a guy today.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, man, you want to finance the car for me? And I'm like, sorry, I can't do that on
Get
a
him on
bank.
call, dude. Put him on the men's.
Yeah, I need to.
And just be like, look, I can do it. It's going to be $700 a month. And then calculate.
I wouldn't even do it for
10%.
$1,000.
No, calculate like 20% or something ridiculous. Like, look, to borrow from me would be 20% interest. You know, like just say something crazy.
Yeah, I should
and
make
just
a
get him
prank
on the
call
phone.
for him. Yeah.
Right. And even if he's like, yeah, I'll do it, you'd be like, let me think about it. Like, waste all his time. No, seriously.
Yeah, we should make a prank call before you
should.
leave. So then I say no, right? And he goes, so send me the VIN number and I'll try to get a loan. So immediately I'm thinking maybe it's a scam. And then I'm like, they can't really do anything with my
Right.
VIN number.
Yeah, they can't.
You know?
So you did, right?
So I give him my VIN number and then he goes, well, the bank didn't want to give me the loan, but if you want, you can come co-sign for me. And
There's no way,
a
dude.
stranger wants me to a stranger
no
that can't
fucking
even get a
way.
loan.
There's no way.
So either his credit's bad or he doesn't make enough income to even afford
is
that
for
car.
real? You're not fucking
Yes,
around?
it's for real.
That is absurd.
Would you ever in your right mind do
What's
that?
wrong with this economy? What's wrong with these people?
The fact that he thinks somebody else will do it, that means somebody's doing it.
Oh, that's
Because
fucked.
you self-finance homes, right? And when you do that, it's actually a good deal for the person doing it because it's easy to just evict somebody and take their house back if they don't pay you.
Mm-hmm.
And 99% of these people who are doing this self-finance are basically never going to end up paying you for 30 years. So like you get a lot of money every month, way more than what it's worth.
Right.
Plus you get a big down payment, like
at some-
20, 30,000.
and
At some point you get the house back.
get the house back.
So people actually, these guys that are
Oh, that's
on
funny.
Craigslist, self-finance, there's a lot of, they're hoping somebody does that.
Falls for it.
Because it gives them like a revenue stream of income, especially if they have paid off houses. They get a huge chunk up front and then they
So,
get that back.
What's like setting? They get all the information from the person. So like, what's preventing the person being like, "Hey man, can't make my payment this month, but you can't kick me out either because all my shit's in there."
Well, then you evict them.
Right, but you
Because
evict them
you-
over in law, right? Like,
yeah,
through
exactly.
law.
You don't
But
just come drag them out the house.
But what's stopping people from like? These people are the lowest of the lowest, right? Like, what's stopping them from just setting the whole house on fire?
Well, that's a risk you take too when you buy like foreclosed homes and
Oh.
stuff. A lot of times the guy getting kicked out still living in there,
Yeah.
and you own the house now, and he gets angry at you. So what they do sometimes they take concrete and just pour it down all the toilets,
Are you serious?
and then you're fucked. Like you have to basically rip out all the plumbing. Yeah, yeah,
Are you serious?
yeah. So it's real risky. I was looking at doing something like that, foreclosures, but
Okay, I thought
the
you meant the
guys would
toilet
tell me
thing.
stories like that. Yeah.
They pour concrete down the toilets.
Yeah, and then it just
Hardens,
solidifies it in all the
it's
drains,
fucked.
and then
So you got to go down the foundation at that point, right?
Yeah,
Back
you got to
down?
break through everything, and your plumbing's fucked. So there's that risk.
Oh my!
But the way these people
dude.
get past it, it's called cash for keys.
Yeah.
And they'll go in there and be like, "I'll give you $2,000,000," because they're way on the positive side on the house, right? They probably up market value like 50, 60,000 maybe.
Okay.
So they'll be like, "I'll give you $2,000,000. You got to move out like tomorrow, like, and I'll buy you. I'll pay it down like $500 on an apartment or something."
Just to make sure that the
That's what they do.
doesn't go
But then
down.
you got that one guy that's just uber pissed off that he's losing his house.
Right.
And now this guy rolls up that he knows is going to make a lot of money on his
Yeah.
misery, and he's going to try to get you, you know?
Holy shit.
So when you're in that business, that's some of the stuff you got to worry about.
Dude, no joke.
But yeah, one of these other guys that came to look at him, the guy that made me the offer, I should have taken it because he destroyed my car. He comes in, right? It's like,
What does he look like?
so him and his buddy show up. He's like, my buddy's got vet too. I want to say he's going to come look at it. So then he shows up to my garage and he's like by himself first. And the guy was like 6'5" and obese, like badly obese, like could barely walk, you know, like 500 some pounds.
And he wants to buy a vet?
He wants to buy the vet.
Wait,
So
he
he's-
wanted to fit in a vet somehow?
Yeah. So now he starts walking around. I'm showing him everything. And you've seen my vet. It's like flawless, right? The paint, everything. It looks like a brand new car. That's
in
why I
good
bought
condition,
it. It's
yeah.
in really good condition. So he's walking around and then he starts. I said, look at that thing, man. That paint's perfect. He's like, I think I saw some. There was nothing he saw. He's just making that shit up. And then
That's so funny.
then he opens the door and he's like, mind if I sit in? And I wanted to tell him, like, no, don't do it.
Yeah.
And he starts getting in there, and I'm like, fuck, because I'm like, I don't want to lose the sale. I'm like, fuck.
So the suspension. Did you
Because-
see your vet go down to the ground a little
Well,
bit?
in those year vets,
Yeah.
there's an issue with the seating where there's certain brackets that can break, and then like whenever you brake or accelerate too fast, the seat rocks back and forth like that.
What the fuck?
So you don't want that happening. So that's going through my mind, like 100 things within 5 seconds. He's already like down. And before I can say something, he's like so overweight and out of shape.
Yeah.
He gets to that one point when he's squatting down where like the body can't even hold the body up anymore.
So it's like point of no return.
Well, he's trying to go down really slow, but then he
Is he
gets
grunting? Is he like?
yeah. And he's holding on to the backrest of the seat and it's just like tilting back, right? It's like bending almost. And then as he gets to that point of no return, his legs just give out and it's just like boom, like into the seat. I'm like, fuck. Like I'm just looking at the seat. I'm like, so he gets out. It seems okay, but all that I got in the other day, it seems like it's like tilted to the right side. Like you're kind of at an angle now when you sit. So then he goes,
So wait, when you're driving your horizons off a little bit?
yeah,
like
right,
a plane?
right.
That's like banking a turn, except it's just going straight?
Like it's a gyroscope off, like by a little bit on the side. And then he's like, my friend's here. He's got his vet. So his buddy shows up in like a new vet.
Yeah.
Like a Z06, like a new one. Not a new one, but a C6, like the
That's
older,
nice, though. Still
before the
nice.
new. Yeah, it's
Still
real nice.
Yeah.
I found out they don't have the removable tops like the new ones. The
The
Z06s
FRC?
don't.
They're all fixed roofs?
Fixed roof. But
wow.
I mean, the regulars are. So then the friend gets out of the car and he's almost as big as this guy. Like they're almost twins, like they're buddies, and
They're like determined to destroy your shit.
yeah. And this guy's like super vet guy. He knows every. He's got every vet except the very first one
really?
and the very last one. He's got one of each. You know, so he's got like 4 different generations
So he's
of vet.
looking to complete the crisis?
No, he's just helping this guy make sure everything's okay. So he like knows everything about the vet, and he's going in and out, and he's like, "Mind if I drive?" And then now I'm freaking out because the driver's seat has the very bottom where you sit on. It's like the leathers in different sections, right? And the very bottom where you sit on is like it's got these things I call micro tears because it's perforated leather or fake leather almost. I think it's fake leather. So it's like holes in the leather and they're round. On the passenger seat,
That's
it's
for breathability.
right. It's perfect on the passenger
That's so
seat.
your fucking taint will be okay. Like,
It's when you
if you're going
fart,
to
the
like
chills, man.
it's that, but it's if like you're going to a 5-star dinner. It's to make sure that you don't have the ass sweat of death like on your tuxedo. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you gotta. So it allows
It's a sporty look, is what they call it. So I'm like, okay, these micro tears are not going to be able to withstand this guy's weight when he falls
So you did
down.
these calculations in your head?
Well, I'm thinking that, but then I'm thinking, oh, this is a done deal. Like the guy drove down from Houston like 4-hour drive just to
Right.
look at it. And like, you could tell he really liked it. Like it's in really good shape. You know, you don't find that year in that condition. So I'm like, and all the stuff I've put inside it. So I'm like, it's a done deal, right? Because I told him before he comes, I said, I will not negotiate on this price. This is it. You know, I'm selling it at kind of a loss, which I actually selling it at break even. But I'm like, I can't even go down a penny. So he's still looking at it, right? And he wants to. So I'm like, it's a done deal. He's gonna pay me my offer.
So you're like, I don't care if they sit in it now?
Yeah. So no. Well, I'm still like, in the back of your head, you're like, nothing's a done deal till it's a done deal, right?
Right.
So he kind of this guy is the same.
How'd this guy even get out of the fucking vet, dude?
Oh, they rock back and forth,
Huh?
And then they roll. It's like a walrus, man. That's what it looked like. They look like walruses, like on the beach, trying to just roll over.
So wait, they destroy your chair. Now they want to destroy your suspension, both left and right side of the whole car, trying to get out?
Well, he hasn't even
fuck is
sat
wrong
in
with
yet.
this?
So finally, I'm like,
is not
well,
good
if I
for you,
tell
man.
him, if I tell him he can't ride in it, like
Yeah.
that's it. They're gonna think something's wrong with the car, right?
Right. It's true.
So I'm like, yeah, go ahead, man. So this guy drops in too. Like he hits that point of no return thing, and the legs buckle out, and he just drops into the seat. Like I think that's how he sits down every time. Like,
Right.
Because he can't just drop from the very top. He's gonna hurt himself, right?
It reminds me of like an ice cube, like, you know, when like they're flossing down like Crenshaw Boulevard or something in those cars, it's like, you know,
The lowriders that are hopping up and
they're
down.
like thinking like today was a good day. Yeah, the lowrider. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But they like go to the side
Right.
and all their horizons tilt, and then anyway.
Yeah. So he gets in, drive around, whatever, and then he gets out. I'm immediately inspecting the seat, and the micro tear, like
You
four
probably
of
did
them.
what your dad does.
It was going in my head. I was like, but the micro tears now had completely, like two of them had just like the four holes, like had, you know, like what's that connected dots kind of four square thing?
Yeah.
Like four of the dots on two of the tears that like all connected. So
Oh.
now it's like two tears down there. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to tell him about the tears that he tore them.
Oh, wow.
Because then he's going to want a discount, right?
Right.
So then everything's done, and he comes back in once makes me pull. Okay, this is 2 hours into it. This guy is just, so I'm like, it's a done deal. They wasted 2 fucking hours of my day. And finally gets in. He's like, okay, you ready to go to the bank? I'm like, yeah, sure. He's like, so here's the deal. Like he's trying to just tell me the deal.
Oh.
So here's the deal. I'm going to pay you $18,500 for it. And I immediately, I said, no, I wanted 20.
Okay.
What I should have done is negotiate, right?
Okay.
A little bit so it doesn't feel ripped off. And he
Right.
still. So I go, man, I told you, man. I try to say it in a nicer way as possible,
Okay.
but I was fucking pissed now because it's 2 hours of my time. I have 2 tears in my
So you're
seat
trying
now.
to be playful with the two big people.
I
It
was.
didn't work out.
Yeah, and then I finally go, listen, man. I said I told you I was firm on the price
Yeah.
because I knew you were having a long drive here. You know, I said, I wish you had told me this on the phone so I wouldn't have wasted your time. And I'm thinking my time's wasted, you know?
Right.
Because I was going to go hustling that day, and I couldn't because the guy came at like 7 o'clock in the morning.
And then broke her car.
So then he leaves, and I think he was expecting me to call because I had actually, his van was parked like at the Walgreens about half a mile down.
Yeah.
And I drove back there like 30 minutes later, past there, just to see if he was still there, and he was still sitting in his car.
Really?
So I think he was just waiting for the return because I had an hour and a half left before my bank closed.
And you were like, fuck you, man.
No, what I should have done was call him back,
should've,
and I
but
should
you
have
didn't.
said, right. I was thinking
But you
the
have
car
a
would
point
sell right
too.
away.
You have a point too, because if you think it's worth 20, I think it was worth 20. They came down and then probably were like, okay, to me it's worth 18.5, but realistically, no one would do a 4-hour trip
No, I think
if it wasn't worth 20. It was
I think
worth
he
20.
just assumed he's 100% guaranteed. Like I'm going to go down on the price. Like
What a moron.
yeah.
Well, they just wasted their time more than yours.
Right. I think he was, you could tell like he was, because I was out there still like talking
What
to
an
his buddy
idiot.
about vets, and he was just sitting there silently just in the corner. He wasn't all happy anymore and all talking.
Yeah, but he really got the last laugh because didn't you get this like chair repaired now?
I need to, but it's $300, so I'm thinking maybe we should get it. But
Like,
hey,
is it north, east, west, or south of your anus? Like, if you sit down,
it's directly between the butt cheek hole, like the line. But hey, we got a guest waiting on the line, so let me kind of think. Hey, and before we get to the guest, because I part of the reason I have this guest on today is you had a issue last, I guess, a week ago or so.
who?
You did,
About what?
right? Where, I don't know, you had to kind of take a break.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Was it just stress or what?
Yeah, it was stress, anxiety, stress, all kinds of crazy stuff.
So you had to take a break, and actually our guest has a lot similar kind of thing that she's going to come on and talk about. Her name's Rachel O'Meara.
Okay.
And she actually wrote, or she's working on a book that is similar to you taking a break. It's called Pause. And
As in like pause.
Well, let's find out. Hey,
Okay.
Rachel, you there?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. How are you doing?
I'm really good, thanks. How are you guys?
Doing good. Can you see Bonafide over here?
I can, yeah. Hi, Bonafide.
Hello. How's it going?
Hey, so Bonafide, tell Rachel a little bit about your situation, whatever you can, and what you did.
Okay. I'll just make in a gist. I'm the kind of guy who like wants to achieve something big in my life. I feel like there's always been a calling for me, right? But at the same time, I'm a little bit of a late bloomer. So I tend to make pretty well calculated decisions, and sometimes it takes a while. So either that's procrastination or whatever. But I do feel as if like my age combined with where I want to go in life tends to stress me out a little bit. And among with the other 5 billion things I have to take care of in my life, dogs, wife, current business plans and all that kind of stuff, it's like I've always wanted to start this other endeavor in my life. And so that's what's just been stressing me out a whole lot. And then on top of that, I would wake up slightly later than normal just because I couldn't figure out a way to wake up super early. But now I've kind of resolved that whole thing. But anyway, that's what I'm going through. I'm pretty sure I don't know if that's a crisis or what, but...
So you took a break, right?
Oh, I had to. Yeah, like I had an actual... When I was in the gym 2 days in a row, I felt as if I was either getting sick or I couldn't take deep breaths and stuff. And so I actually went to a therapist the other day.
Really?
I did, man. Had to.
Was it good?
We could talk about that. Let me go to one more session,
Okay.
and I can decide whether to rip on the therapist or not.
Yeah,
I don't know yet.
I have no faith in him.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you outside of it. It's pretty. It's going to definitely hit the podcast because it's
Okay.
kind of funny.
Well, Rachel, so Bonafide, my co-host, he had a similar issue to you, right? You used to, or you still work for Google, but you had a point in your life where you had a similar issue where you had to kind of take a break, right?
Yes, that was about 4 years ago, and I took a 3-month unpaid break.
So
Yeah.
your book Pause is all about taking kind of a pause in your life, right? And to what's a good word to describe it?
Yeah, I can share a little bit about that. So, Bonafide, thanks for sharing your story there. A pause, what I define as a pause, is any intentional shift in behavior or emotional state. So it can be any length of time. It doesn't need to be tied to any long duration. It could be something like you mentioned, a couple weeks. It could be a moment. It could be a walk around the block. The idea is that you have an intentional shift in behavior. So let me ask you, when you took your time off, did you set any intentions? What was your goal? Did you have anything that you wanted to get out of that time?
My goal in that time period, because I want to say I went from like a Wednesday to a Sunday, and I mean after that, it was so bad to where like I even had what I think is arrhythmias, irregular heartbeats and all kinds of stuff. Like I was going through some either just insane stress or just crazy anxiety, which I think everybody in some part of their life is going to experience that. I now know why some people, even they get anxious before a test, like in college, right? Some people just go crazy. And I know what it feels like now. It feels like you can't breathe correctly. It feels as if you're...
Anxiety.
Yeah, it feels like sometimes like you're almost drowning in life. Like,
Right. So you got to that point where you couldn't breathe?
oh, I could breathe, but I just felt as if many things were off in my body, in my life.
Did you
And
feel
so-
sadness?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So let me answer her question. What did I hope to achieve in that short period of time I took off from a Wednesday to a Sunday in a given week? I called my business partners and I told them, look, I need to take it. And I even told my business and everything. I put a post in the room saying, look, I can't, I'll be gone until Sunday, personal things. And then what I did with that time was more important. I didn't get on any social media. I thought that was really important for me because my entire life is run by social media, off of YouTube, Facebook, everything. Everyone knows me through those channels. And then I decided to only do things that I like to do in those days. And so I would play a couple of video games here and there, even though I don't really like playing video games. It just helps me relax.
Yeah.
I did lots of skateboarding outside, biking, things that made me happy. I made sure to enjoy those things.
What do you think,
Cool.
Rachel? Was that a good way to take a pause?
So I would say it's great that you had those intentions, and the word I think I would put in terms of what are you trying to achieve, it's that realignment. It's aligning with what your values are and what matters to you. So if you're out of alignment at any time, and this was my case, I was burned out. I can relate to your story. It sounds like similar to mine. And when I was in this pretty much like negative thought pattern and high stress levels, I knew I couldn't go on in the same way that I was going through my days. So I had to realign. I had to take a time out. I had to remove myself from my environment, and that helped. It just basically took the noise out. And so my intention was also to just decide what I wanted to do next and what did that mean to me. So it was really just being and resetting how I was in my everyday environment. So it took, for me, in my case, taking me out of that for an extended period of time. And it didn't maybe need to be that long, but I like the fact that you took a couple days off. And the idea behind a pause is, again, intentional shift. So in your case, Wednesday to Sunday, for that time period, the intention could be, let's just take it to what you think it could mean. So what would, like you'd say, well, I want to, by Sunday, what do I want to get out of this time, and kind of come up with some ideas. And during that time, whatever that pause is, and again, it doesn't need to be a long time. Anyone can pause. It's just a matter of intention. What can I realign with? So maybe I just want to what if I just wanted to relax a little bit? Maybe I want to feel my emotions a little more. Maybe I want to spend more time with my family. Those are intentions right there. So you could come up with something like that. And then the idea is to be in that during that time. And it's not necessarily like doing, it's actually just being yourself and being more with yourself to help realign. Because you can't realign unless you're with yourself. You need to know what you want and where you want to be.
I agree with that 100%. It actually helped a lot to do my realignment. It wasn't even a supervised one or what. I was slightly supervised with my wife and everything. She made sure that I was on track. But the two things I know that were really eating at me more than anything was like a very cluttered up garage and a very cluttered up office space. And both are places where I do business. And so that's where a lot of my business comes from, the inflow and outflow of goods. And, it has to be clean spaces so I can think. And I know now what it feels like when things are out of whack. It's a really bad feeling. And I think everyone at any part of their life at some part of their life is going to experience what I experienced.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think we all have. But Rachel, for our audience out there that's trying to figure out if they need to take a pause, what are the biggest signs they should look for to find that out?
Great question. So I actually write about this in my book, Pause, which is I actually just submitted the rough draft to my publisher, and so it won't be out for another year or so, but I plan to have excerpts published. But I have 5 signs you need a pause, and all of these happened to me. And I think the first one is, there's a bunch of them, but the first one is you used to love your job and now you loathe it. So for whatever reason, you're not feeling good in your day-to-day work, and it could be a number of things, but that would be one. So if you just are kind of grudging through the day, there's something out of alignment. And it's not so important what that is, but it's realizing that and actually having awareness around that. Sometimes we just go through life day on day and grudging through the next day after day, and you can actually shift that if you increase your awareness around it. So that's the first one is you used to love your job and now you loathe it. And then the second one was that your boss tells you it's just not working out. So maybe you're your own boss and you might tell yourself that. Maybe this is just not what I want to do anymore. My insight from that was, and this happened to me where I wasn't really doing well in my job and performing well on account of all these other things going on inside of me that I wasn't convinced I was doing a good job, and also not taking responsibility probably for a lot of the things that I was doing. So having a closer look at why isn't it working out? What is going on there? Am I responsible for all my actions? Am I doing whatever I need to do to be necessary in this role? Chances are you might be able to do some more stuff. So that's, making sure that you're aligned with that from a manager and CEO type role if you hold that yourself. The other ones that I would mention is that you have an intervention. So this one's a pretty fun one. In my case, I had a technology intervention where I literally had a friend tell me that I spent too much time on my laptop and I was too consumed with work outside of work. And this could be, I think all of us can relate to this one, whether it's just checking your phones, probably when it's not so appropriate, having family time where you're distracted by technology. Maybe you're not using it to connect, but you're actually disconnecting or distracted through it. So that's one that I had. And it might be an intervention from other things too. You never spend enough time with us anymore, or why are you working so hard? A lot of times we jump into work and devote so much because we may not want to face other realities in our life, and that could be for anything, not just work. So those are a few of them that I would say are the types, the signs that you need a pause. And again, it's the idea is that it's an intentional pause. It doesn't mean you go out and take a beach vacation for 2 weeks and pump, although it would be nice to put your feet up on a chair and have a margarita. But the idea is you have intention around it. So what do you want to get out of that week at the beach?
Right. So to have intention, how do you know what is the right kind of pause for you to take as a person that's going to actually help you in that situation versus just be a pause where you just wasted time? Yeah,
great question. So I think it really comes down to intention. And again, it's a realignment. And sometimes you don't want to do anything in a pause. It's actually about being with yourself. So I would say that if you're actually going into a pause and planning like 10 things to do, that's nice, but is it really what you need as getting aligned with what you want and just being? So even let's say it's a weekend. I think most people have 2 days a week that they could take off, or even 24 hours. Let's say that that's a pause. If you intended to just be and not maybe make any plans and see what happens, see what emerges from there, then that's one way that you can discover more about maybe what's out of alignment. Some thought might pop up. And the idea is that you create the space, and I like to say you create the space to find your truth. You create the space that you can allow yourself to be with yourself and not be pulled into 10 directions or have goals you need to achieve and go on to the next thing. So I think that that's a big part of it, is being okay with the being part of it. And that's really hard. I think so many of us are tied to doing a lot of things. I know myself, I'm a huge achiever, and that sometimes works to my detriment because I'm so busy doing, I forget to be with myself.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people out there that probably do need a pause, but they're probably in a situation financially maybe or with family where they can't take a pause of 3 months, or they can't take even a couple day pause. What does a pause look like to somebody like that?
Yeah, that's such a good question. And so the beauty of a pause is it can be anything that works for you. So it doesn't need to be a long amount of time. It's all about your intention. And I define intention. This is from my studies up in Chicago at the Wright Graduate University. Is intention is aliveness with direction. So like being alive, like feeling in your body and doing things. And when you do that, you can do that for free. You don't need a month or a week. It's nice to have that, but it's definitely not a need to have. So are you engaged in the level that would drive that? And like just noticing what's going on with you and without any finances, a pause is great. I would say one of my favorite pauses is a breathing exercise. I can sit in my chair and practice 5 deep breaths and even close my eyes and just be with myself. That's a moment by moment pause that I could have. And I talk a lot about different types of pauses in my book, from daily pauses to unpaid breaks and coming up with plans for any of those. But it's definitely not tied to finances. And the idea is that you can create what works for you. And part of my plan is to help everybody become more aware of what works and how they can shift where they are and be more relaxed, have a more engaged life, not be so stressed, and do that through awareness.
Yeah. See, my issue with taking, because I have taken pauses, especially from this radio show, as our audience knows, every now and then, and my pause turns into a stop. And sometimes I won't even do anything productive during these pauses. So what is the right mindset to have to where you can avoid that pitfall?
Yeah. Well, I would reframe that a little bit. I would think that's okay. Again, a pause is a recalibration, right? As you mentioned, you could be at a point where you're just mentally not in a good place to do anything that works for you. And that's okay. We all get there. It's a matter of just flowing through every day. And so I would say you can stop. The point is to get going again at some point. So you might need longer than you think. And maybe you pause from 7 to 9 p.m. every night. It doesn't need to be consecutive. It can be a time where you set intention with what you want in action and come up with a plan that works for you. So I say it's okay to stop. And the point is you can stop, but you can press the play button whenever that's going to work for you. And it might take some experimenting. It is an adventure. It's not like this is a science. It's a little bit of an art.
Dizzle, like the pause that you're talking about, Dizzle, sounds like an actual physical pause. Like you're walking across the street and then all of a sudden you just stop. You kind of just stop like that Beatles cover, where they're just like in walking across the street. But yeah, I think a lot of the Fortune CEOs and all those people, they do breathing exercises, but it's AKA meditation. In the morning, they do meditation where they don't even think about what their day is going to be like or anything. They just get their rhythm and the breathing corrected. And then they go to use like a vision board or something like that. But for the most part, a lot of big dog people, you got to think how many things that they have going for them. And, that they manage all this social media stuff. They got to manage their companies, all that stuff. And it takes a lot, especially if you're the visionary. So a lot of those people, if you take a look behind the scenes, they're always like chilling out for about 15 minutes in the morning with nothing around them. Right after waking up. It's like real serious pausing.
Yeah. And just to add to that, because that brings up, I'm thinking of a lot of research from fields of science lately where there is data around pausing / mindfulness / awareness, where if you actually do take a couple minutes, it can be 2 minutes. It doesn't need to be a long time where you are relaxing. You actually activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which engages the relaxation within your body to be more relaxed and actually decreases levels of things like cortisol or the actual chemicals that are created by the sympathetic nervous system, which is more stress related and is activated anytime we go into a fight or flight or high stress situation. Right. So there's actual research that works. And my whole vision with pause is that it becomes a global conversation around how do we bring that into every day and integrate it so that it just becomes part of our routine and we can actually lead better lives, more meaningful lives, be less stressed, and engage better and fully as we want and desire.
All right, Rachel, I think you should lobby our government for paid pauses. You need to.
I want to
contact a senator or something. Yeah, but hey, thank you for coming and telling our audience about the pause. It's a powerful tool they can use out there to lead a happier, healthier life. How can people reach you and learn more about pause in your book and be able to get some help from you?
Yeah, great. I've enjoyed being on here too. Thanks so much. So you can go to Facebook on my site, Rachel O'Mara, which is the Facebook page. I think you can just Google my name. And I'm also on Twitter for Romera1 and my website, rachelomera.com. Sign up for my newsletter. I write a lot of articles on emotional intelligence that features some of this that we talked about today.
Cool. How do you spell your Twitter?
It's ROM, like Mary, EARA, and then the number 1.
Romera.
So Romera1.
And to our listeners, we're going to have the links in the show notes, and they're scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now. So thank you very much, Rachel, for coming on the show.
Thanks, Dizzle. Thank you, guys.
All right, take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. So, all right, for our audience right now, we're going to take a pause here ourselves. We're gonna recuperate here, and then we're going to bring you somebody that never, ever, ever takes a pause. Metalhead coming up next. The Men's View. What's up, prospects? Dizzle here, and I just want to let you know just how serious this is.
If you enjoy our show and you want to see it succeed and us continue, you got to support the show. What does that mean? Get on YouTube, subscribe to the Men's View channel, like all our videos every time we put them up, comment on there because it helps us know that you're listening. But liking is very important because it boosts us in YouTube's algorithm. It lets YouTube know that people are actually watching and it shows up higher in the search results. Also, we're going to start chopping up the show into clips, share them with your friends, put them on Facebook, email them to people if you think it's funny or they'll like it. Let them know to subscribe to our show. Go to iTunes, review us. More reviews we have, the more people we know. I just want to stress how serious this is, guys. This is the last shot I'm giving this. I know there's a lot of people that enjoy the show, but Dizzle's got a lot of responsibilities. Bonafide's got a lot of responsibilities, and so does CMFK. So we got to see this show succeed. I'm going to give it till the end of the year, see if we can get some traction again. If we do, we're going to keep going. But support us. If you want to help us pay for some of this equipment, look at this nice studio we got, right? Pretty cool. Costs a lot of money. So go to themensview.com/Amazon. And if you're buying anything at all off of Amazon.com, just once you know what it is, or if you want to search for it, search through that box and then purchase it. It doesn't cost you anything more, but we get a tiny cut from Amazon and it might add up. I know it did last time, thanks to all the fans that were doing that. And if you want to learn how to hustle and make money, make that money like Bonafide, go to themensview.com/flip and he's giving 25% off of his book right now. So thanks guys for listening and let's get back to the show.
All right, we are back from break, and Metalhead is going to be here in a second. But before he comes on, I just want to play him. He's been calling me all week.
Okay.
So we've been trying to get him, Matt, the producer. He's been trying to get. We're basically trying to have a contest here, or not even a contest. We're doing a segment where you get to ask Metalhead relationship advice, and he'll tell you about it. And you just got to go to themensview.com, scroll down a little bit, and there's a box where you can actually hold your phone up to your mouth and record a question, and we get it. So we'll be reading your question on air, and he'll be answering it. And if we do read your question on air, you will be getting a little gift from us, a little bit of Men's View merchandise. So do go to themensview.com and answer it. But we've been trying to get him to just record a 20-second thing, and we wrote it out for him, you know? Hey, guys, come on the show and tell me about it. And
Okay.
he can't do it, man. Like, actually, here's his voicemail. So.
Hey, Prospect, it's the president calling. Don't you know that you're supposed to pick up? You know that when you look at your phone, the president of the club is calling? Okay? Just remember that. I'm the president. You're a prospect. Okay? How are you supposed to move? How am I supposed to make you move up and you don't pick up your phone? So, prospect, when the president calls, you better pick up.
Yeah, because I keep texting him and emailing him directions, and he can't figure it out.
Just to record something?
He can't figure out what he was
Doesn't
doing.
he have a video does he have a Samsung?
Okay, so he was taking like 1080p quality video.
On what?
And doing
From what?
On his phone. Like I think it's an iPhone or Samsung. And then I would tell him 20 seconds max. You know, we're going to tweet it out. We don't want it like... So you take this 5-minute video, and I'd say, hey, do it. Don't do it vertical. It'd always be a vertical video every time.
What an idiot.
He doesn't understand what horizontal means.
Did you teach him?
Yeah, I tried to, but it still comes vertical every time. And then he sends a video, and I'm like, look, it's going to be on the internet. We need a good quality, right? So he keeps texting it to me, like a 5-minute video,
So
and it's like 4 pixels.
240p?
It's not even. It's just like 8 or 9 pixels.
So it's just...
Like it's just fluctuating dots on the screen. And you can barely hear what's going on.
Oh, gosh.
So here's him calling back.
Hey, fucker, I made a video already, dude, but I don't know how to send it, dude. I got my MacBook, but I don't know how to send it, so when you get this message, give me a call back.
And
if it's 20 seconds, it can go through email.
Yeah.
If it's anything like a minute plus, it'd probably be a
it wasn't even
Dropbox
going
situation.
yeah, so we finally set him up with Dropbox, and he can't figure it out.
You know, honestly, it's not exactly the easiest thing to figure out, though, for most
Don't you just
people.
hit share, and that's it?
Yes and no. Like, you have to understand how it works. You have to, like, highlight the thing and then, like, make it into a link.
Right, and then he sends us the email. Well, he finally figures it out.
Just a link, because all you need, you can get to go to his Dropbox and download it yourself. Something like that, right?
Yeah, that's what he did. Yeah. He finally figured that out. But then it's always these 5-minute videos, and I had a bunch to play, but he went back and deleted all of them, so I can't even play them. But here's another voicemail he sent me.
What's going on, Prospect? I got your message, and I got your whole message, okay? I just wanted to tell you that I've been working on it, trying to make the best video, playing with the camera, so... But the one thing that I want to tell you is just that, who in the fuck is producer Steve? What the fuck his name is?
And the guy's name is Matt. It's not even Steve. He thinks the producer's name's Steve.
How dare you talk to the president of the club like that, fucker? Don't you know? Do you get your ass whooped like that? Don't ever yell at the fucking president like that again. And who the fuck is this producer guy, Steve? Whatever the fuck his name is. You let him inside the fucking club? What kind of bullshit is that? Huh? You're supposed to talk to the president.
I gotta make a prank call with this.
First of the club.
New prank call coming up.
What kind of bullshit is that? That should be on a fucking shirt.
You can't just automatically get somebody from the street. That's like grabbing, what if like the fucking guy, the crazy lunatic or maniac?
What?
Yeah, I didn't get that.
But anywho, you said that about the videos. Well, how in the fuck am I supposed to? Well, fucker, I'm studying to learn how to put the fucking videos, motherfucker.
He's studying how to Dropbox.
You don't fucking teach my fucking ass. I've been up all fucking night looking at fucking YouTube videos how to edit a fucking video and send it.
Why is he trying to edit?
I don't know. I tell him just send me the raw clip. We'll edit it.
All right.
He doesn't follow directions.
And then when you come to Houston, why don't you fucking show me? But no, every time you fucking come to Houston,
he's so bitter.
Meet you somewhere for about 3 fucking minutes, and then all of a sudden, you just want to hang out with your college boys.
Yeah, because every time I go to Houston,
why don't you ever see him?
I don't, because he lives really far.
Where does he live?
I don't, like in the hood, kind of.
You don't even know where he lives.
No, he lives really like an hour and a half away. So I've met him only once before.
That's a different city then?
No, he's in Houston. I'm kind of on the suburbs.
Oh, because they go to fucking Harvard like fucking Dr. Dave Wilson with his fake PhD fucking Harvard. Huh? Or no. But you want to hang out with the other prospect, Bonafide, right? Yeah, Bonafide was in Houston. You fucking go hang around with him. You probably go shop around. Y'all probably go to the junkyard and go buy fucking more junk. And try to sell it for at least like for about $100, but you're only gonna get $2.
What the fuck? You were hustling in Houston, right?
So anyway, Prospect, when you get this message...
Oh, my gosh, dude.
Call the president back.
All right, so he finally...
I already found out who's going to be the new VP of the club.
Sure. So he finally... This is his final... You know what? I had a bunch of funny ones, but he fucked it all up. He deleted like 8 of really fucked up tries trying to get it right. This is the final one where he thought he got it right. Here.
What's up, prospects? Metalhead here from the Men's View. I need all of our prospects. There is a link below. Okay?
Supposed to be 20 seconds.
It's themensview.com. It's Dizzle at themensview.com. Yes, prospects, I'm wearing my favorite t-shirt, The Mentors. I want to give a shout out to the bass player, Dr. Heathern Scum, and the guitar player, Sick Weaver Scum, whatever the guys' names are. Hope you guys come to the studio because we want to interview you. We want to see you live. It's like all metal looking,
but then it's like glasses are all trendy.
Houston. But I'm telling all of our prospects out
sloth,
there,
dude. This is more sloth than I've ever seen it, dude.
Send in a question, a relationship.
This guy came back, dude.
Okay,
from 1987
send in any question
He's back.
To the Men's View, which is the link below, themensview.com.
This was his 20 second.
Dizzle at
pretty soon, like every year, the hair gets smaller. You know what I'm saying? So it's just going to be like
he's probably hiding the ball
line, dude, of just single hair, single follicles. Like,
and if I use that question, I will tell you the answer live on the air.
Gosh, this is
But
not
I'm
20
telling
seconds,
all of our
dude.
prospects out there,
Yeah.
all of our
This
hot
is
ladies,
this is almost 2 minutes.
please make the men's view number one again.
What does that got to do with him
And
telling the fans to ask a question?
Metalhead will keep doing crazy stuff.
Jeez. You know, he's a big fan of this Mentors band. He keeps trying to get him on the show. Remember when he went to their concert and he was the only guy there, like
Right.
in line, and he was there like.
He might have been the only guy that's bought a shirt too.
Well, he's the biggest fan of theirs, and he doesn't know their names.
Yeah, but he's like the only fan of theirs. It seems like if he goes to a concert and he's like the only one moshing.
Yeah. Like, I think there was like 4 people total there in line. But he wants us to get him on the show because they're really popular or something.
No,
But
they're not though.
let's try to get a hold of Metalhead here and see. I know he was driving home. I have
I
some.
bet you it's gonna be noisy as shit, dude.
Yeah, his van. I wonder if he fixed the shocks. Hey, Metalhead.
Yeah, I'm here.
Man, you got a good connection right now. What's going on?
Nothing much. Prospect just here, just having fun. That's all. Laying back, kicking back. That's all I'm doing. Prospect.
It's like really, really. It's HD quality. We can see the. Is it rosacea?
No, I think he's got bad acne now, right?
No, he's got like maybe he tanned only in the center part of his face region.
Metalhead, are you having acne issues again?
No, I'm not having no acne issues, dude. I'm just.
Did you say acme?
No, I said I just been working outside. That's all.
How do you spell acne?
Hey, Prospect, why don't you spell it for me?
No. Not, I want to know.
No, Prospect. You're the Prospect. Okay?
Hey, spell
I want
acne.
you to Spell it.
Spell it. Just real
No,
quick.
you spell it, dude. Come on.
Well, I'm trying to learn from the president.
See.
Hey, Metalhead, there's breaking news on Twitter. There's a man in a tree in Seattle, and like how many foot tree?
It's a sequoia tree that's 80 foot tall in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
And there's a guy that climbed to the very top of it, and now he's throwing pine cones down it by innocent bystanders below. What do you think of that, man?
To me, that's. My answer to that question is just like, I'm going to tell you like this. If I was walking down Seattle and that dude threw something at me, I would go to the freaking nearest hardware store and I would buy the biggest fucking chainsaw and I cut that fucking tree. And that son of a bitch be coming down like this.
What do you think he's thinking? What do you think he's thinking right now, being at the top of the tree in the middle of rush hour traffic? He climbed to the very top. No one can get him down, and he's like throwing branches and pine cones down at people. What do you think is going through his head?
He's probably like acting stupid. He's probably like, I don't know. Maybe he probably lost everything. Maybe he feels down. Maybe like, I don't know. Maybe he's sick.
Hey, Metalhead. So we're playing your Dropbox where you were trying to send me that 20-second clip, right? Do you even know what 20 seconds is?
Yes, I know what 20 seconds is, Prospect.
So why couldn't you just do 20 seconds? You're sending me these 5 minutes long clips, and there's nothing we can do with it.
What I'm trying to do, Prospect, let me just say like this. These 5-minute videos that I've been sending you, because I've been trying to tell the prospects out there to make us number one again. You remember? Like,
are you sitting directly in the sun? What's going on? Like your face is completely glowing
It's
and
like
washed
he
out.
went to the
I'm
afterlife.
fucking sitting in the fucking sun, dude.
Dude,
Hold
there's
on.
a trash can in his van, dude.
Hey,
Go back to your seat.
give us a Metalhead's in his van in a parking lot.
No, go back to your other seat. Go back to your other seat real quick. I saw something in the
Go
background.
down. Let's see in the back.
What?
Put
sit
the
down.
camera. Give us a tour of MTV Cribs.
I ain't got no fucking MTV Cribs, dude.
Yeah, show us your van. Just show us around a little bit. Just show us some stuff.
Hey, smack your hand onto the ceiling of your van. I want to hear what it sounds like.
See, look.
Oh, wow. There's nothing there.
See, look. That's all my van right there, see?
Metalhead, your van's completely gutted. Like, there's nothing in there.
What is next to you? Like, there's something next to you. What is it?
Oh, this is my little ice chest, see? I got some fucking...
He's got beer, Coronas in there. Is it open?
Yeah.
Okay, Texas has what's called an open container law. So if your beer's even completely empty and they pull you over and you just have an empty can in the back, that's like a felony drunk driving kind of deal.
I know, Prospect, okay? I know the fucking laws.
He probably thinks it has to be open in order to abide by the law.
Like, if it's empty, you still get in trouble, right?
No, it doesn't. No.
Yes,
So
you do. If you get pulled over and there's an empty can, that's like a drunk driving charge right there.
That's not a drunk driving charge, dude. I know about the fucking laws.
It's
right?
an open container law. You're in trouble.
It's not a fucking open container, dude. Okay?
Was it open? Here, hold it up. Hold it up. Let us see it. Hold up the can.
Hold up the can of beer.
Let's see what it looks like.
Look.
Let's see if it's open. No, show us if it's okay. It's closed. All right,
he's a
it's
smart
closed.
guy. All right.
Okay, you said it was open.
Hey, Metalhead, can you show us what you do in the back of the van if you had a girl there? Like, do you lay down? Like, what do you do? Look at him, dude. Like, what do you do?
If I had a fucking girl in here, dude, I mean, I don't know, dude. I just sit right here and just drink beer with her. That's it.
But show us where she would be sitting.
She'd probably be sitting like right there.
That's not a bad seat. You should put some cushioning on there. It's the wheel well of the car.
I know.
Well, you see,
It shouldn't even be exposed on that.
I'm working on fixing the van up because I'm gonna fix it all up really good. Because what I plan to do right here with this floor right here, what I plan to do is like I'm gonna put like some like a big old plywood. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna fix this little ceiling right here and probably put like a central air and probably.
Oh, you don't have AC in there, huh?
Yeah, I do got AC in
Okay,
here.
so why is the van gutted? Why is there no like trim or anything in there?
Well, the reason why because it's like this van right here was locked up in the storage for a long time because a friend of mine had it in the storage, but he didn't like take it out for about 5 years, so that's why it's all messed up. But
How many-
little by little fixing it.
How many miles are on it now?
Dude, man, it's already passed like 3,000 miles, man.
So it's like a brand new van, right? 3,000 miles.
Dude, it's already past 3,000 miles.
Okay.
Do you know how many
It's
miles
technically
3,000
past.
is?
Yeah, I know how much. Yes, I know how many.
Is that a lot of miles for a car? 3,000?
Yep. Yep.
So can we see the rest of the van? Like maybe the front of it? Can you show the phone? Can you put the phone?
No,
on the
hold
front
on. I want to
seats?
see the odometer. Let's see this odometer with
I
3,000
want to
miles.
see the front seats, like where he takes all the dates. That's not too bad looking.
Yeah, if they
looks
don't turn
pretty cool.
around, that's actually not
Dude,
that
Dizzle,
scary.
we can't knock We can't knock 1/4 of this van. We can't. We can't make jokes about 1/4 of it.
Hey, show us the odometer though. I want to see what you mean by 3,000 miles. Put the phone by the odometer.
Look, I'm gonna show you. See?
That's
You see it?
355,000 miles, man.
Oh my god.
That's a pretty dope van. It went that much.
Wow. Metalhead.
That's not 3,000.
What was
you know
the
that,
deal
right?
for the van? Exactly how did you get the van again? For all the new people that might be watching the show, what did you have to trade to get that van, and did you spend any money out of your pocket?
Well, you see how I got this van was I ended up selling my truck first, and I sold my truck for like around 1,800. So with the 1,800,
How many miles did your truck have on it?
It had about. It was about to hit 3,000 miles. No, for real.
Okay, I believe you.
Okay.
I believe you don't know how to do math.
So here's the thing right here too. The only thing is too is that when I sold my truck, I got 1,800 for it. So what I did with that 1,800 was that I used that money to put it to rebuild the transmission on the van, and the van costs with 1,800. I spend it on.
No, he's making better financial decisions than CMFK is. That's for sure. You know.
Well, if he's buying
And
vehicles
this
with
van
3,000
here,
miles, that's not
I
bad.
didn't pay a dime because I got it for free.
Yeah. Hey, Metalhead. So this is the van you went on the date with the blind girl in, right?
That's right.
That was in his favor. She couldn't turn around and see this gutted child molester van.
Did she ever sit in the back with you, like what you're doing right now with us?
Yeah.
And
So-
where did she sit down? Where was she sitting?
Well, the thing was just when we came in here, I put a blanket right here, and what happened was just I had some pillows, some old pillows. I put the pillows right there by the wheel cover right there, and we were just laying down right here.
And how long
I
was
just
she?
realized what happened.
What?
He did a pimp my ride, but budget pimp my ride. Well, he just threw some pillows real quick, and he was like, he doesn't need Exhibit. He doesn't need MTV.
It's like a blind pimp you ride too, because she can only feel stuff. So it felt right because it was kind of soft. She doesn't feel the cold metal.
Did you tell her it was like hard, fine Italian wood, like interior and van and everything?
No, not really. She just came in and.
How long were you in the car?
We were in the car probably about 15 minutes.
Do you think she knew that she was in a car and not like maybe a shipping container or something?
No, but didn't you say you drove around for 3 hours last time?
Yeah, like we did.
So for 3 hours you drive around, then you would ask her at stoplights and stuff, like if she still liked you, right?
Yeah, and like she didn't care. She just all she wanted to do was just be with me. That's all. She just wanted to just hang out with me. She wanted to just fucking, I don't know, just.
How much in gas money did you spend in 3 hours? What do you think like you spent out of your pocket with gas money in those 3 hours?
Yeah, I'd probably spend just about $25.
Did you ask her for any of the money or no?
No, I didn't ask her for no money. I just, she got in my ride. We went in, took a ride, and that's it.
Was it easy to hear a conversation between two people in the van while you were driving around?
Yes, Prospect.
You know what? It reminded me of. I watched this Scare Tactics episode back in the day,
right?
And it reminded me of. It's like the guy was so terrified that the guy would just ask him like, "Hey, do you like me?" and stuff, and he'd be like, "Yes." Here, I got a clip from it. This is probably what the Metalhead date sounded like. The girl was so scared for 3 hours because every time you'd pull up to a red light, you would ask her if she liked you and stuff, right?
No, not really. I just talked to her. That's it.
You told us last time you'd always ask her, "Hey, do you still like me?"
No, it's just like really, like when we put up like by a red light, all I would do is just tell her straight up. I said, "Yeah, like what? So like, what do you think?" and everything.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what the Scare Tactics is. This is the Metalhead date.
What were you looking at in there?
Nothing.
What did you see in there?
Just your toilet, bro.
Do you think I'm pretty?
Yeah?
I want you to stay here with me.
Nah, I gotta go see my parents. They just came into town.
I want you to stay here with me.
Is that what your date sounded like, Metalhead?
What did you see in there?
We saw your toilet.
No.
Your
First
toilet's
of all,
backed up.
Prospects, if you're listening to this shit, it's all bullshit. Okay, Prospects? So to all you Prospects out there that are listening to this, it's all bullshit, okay? Because that's not the way it was, okay? She came in here with me. We were fucking just laying down here, cuddling, kissing. We started talking, and that was about it. She said she liked me. I liked her, and that was about it. And then I took her out of my fucking bed, and that was it.
I got one last question for you.
What?
What's the juiciest thing you guys talked about?
What's the juiciest thing?
Like the juiciest. Think about it, man. The juiciest. Think about everything you talked about that night. And think like, what's the juiciest thing you talked about?
Well, she wanted. We just talked about marriage. Well, she's the one that came up with the subject called marriage, and she asked me. She said, "What do you think about marriage?" And I was like, "I don't know. I think to me it's like kind of I don't know."
Well, you must have made quite an impression on her if she's already talking about marriage in the first 3 hour date in your back of your van over there.
But to me it's just like the marriage thing is not my thing, dude, because that's too much.
You don't get married on the first date, right?
No, you don't get married. Did you marry your girl on your first date?
Metalhead, I got a question here about your last week. You were gone, right?
Yes.
You couldn't make it. What happened? I heard you were on another date. That's why you weren't there.
Yes, that's right. That's right, Prospects. I was in another fucking date. Let me explain to you what the fuck happened. Since these dumb Prospects don't fucking know, since they think that I sold out to the fucking club. But you gotta understand, Prospects, as the president, I have to fucking take care of some business for the club. Okay? Because like these two idiot Prospects, they think that I sold out. But what I was is just that I went out on a date with this chick. Okay? She was a Hispanic girl. She was about 23 years old. Okay?
And where'd you meet this girl?
This girl, I met her on the fucking chat line, okay?
Okay, well, you always
describe her. She's 23. What does she look like? What is she? Is she tall? Is she short? Is she big?
Is she short? She was about 5 foot. She was about 5'7". Probably, yeah. She was thick, you know. Yeah, she was thick. She had
boobs and she had like a little ass and everything. So when I walked in, well, when I was talking with her, we started talking. Now look,
are you talking on the chat lines or where are you talking?
We were talking on the fucking chat line.
Okay.
But prospects, I want to tell to all your prospects out there, Metalhead wasn't looking for fucking sex. I wasn't looking for no goddamn one night stand or nothing. I just wanted to look for a fucking girl to talk to, get to know, and see what happens from there. That's it.
So when you saw her for the first time, like, what was your first impression?
First of all, hold on, prospects. You see, prospects, these two prospects, Bonafide and Dizzle, they give you the shitty ass advice, okay? Take my advice, prospects. If you guys ever get on a chat line and y'all want to meet somebody, y'all want to meet a girl, guys, just be yourself, okay? Be yourself. Don't fucking get on there and say, hey, I wanna fuck a girl, man. I wanna get on I'm looking for a girl to fuck all night. No. Just get on there, be yourself, and like, you know, just wait to see what happens. So I talked
Where
to
did
the girl.
you meet her? Where did you meet her? Like, where did you finally see her for the first time? At her house or at a coffee shop or a gas station?
At her house, fucker.
She let you pick her up off the chat line at her house. She trusted that much.
No, like she gave me her address, and like she told me, she said, hey, I liked your greeting. She said, how would you like to come over?
These are trusting women.
What kind of fucking chat lines are these, man?
She said, how would you like to come over and like have dinner with me? And I said, okay. I said, yeah, that's no problem.
Is your picture or what is on your profile? I'm trying to figure this out. Like when they like seek you out.
There's no fucking profile prospect. Okay.
No, but I'm asking a good question.
It's like a voicemail, like a greeting. Hey,
Okay.
this is Metalhead.
Yes, it's a fucking greeting.
What does your greeting say? Just say it to us right now.
I just said that I was looking for a girl. The chit chat. I said, look, this is Metalhead. I'm looking for a girl to go out with, to get to know, to see what happens. That's it. That's all.
But isn't that what everyone says?
I told him, you want to know more? You just leave me a message and I will tell you. So the girl sends me her address. And then like we set a date. We said, okay. She says, can you come by? I said, yeah, that's no problem. You know? So I go over there to her house and I meet her. Yeah, like, you know, I shake her hand. I tell her, hey, what's your name? This is my name, blah, blah, blah.
So you didn't even know her name going over there?
No, like.
When you...
Like, she didn't tell me, but she told me her name.
Were you excited when you first saw her? When you first saw her, were you excited?
Well, when I first saw her, I was kind of like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Like,
what do you mean?
Like, you know?
Rate her from 1 to 10. Give her a number.
She was probably had to be like a 6, dude.
6, okay.
Okay.
She wasn't concerned that you had a mohawk and you.
No, like, you know, especially like, well, to be honest, she liked my mohawk because like when she saw me, first thing she looked at me, she's like, hey, I like your mohawk, and I said, well, chicks dig the mohawk, like, you know, because the mohawk that I have, anywhere I go, a lot of girls say that they love my mohawk, so chicks dig the mohawk.
I can't believe he has actually like a regular job with a mohawk, you know?
Yeah.
That's the part that shocks me. They don't say anything at work about that haircut?
Nope, they don't tell me nothing.
Imagine, you're a security guard, right?
Yeah.
Imagine like you go up to some skaters with that mohawk. Hey guys, we got to move this thing. They're not gonna take you seriously with that haircut.
Man. If he comes out and he's kind of like you're tall, right?
Yep.
And you're like how much do you weigh now?
I weighed about I was 230, but now I weigh 212.
So 212, and he's like 6 foot. I mean, if you come up to some skaters with a mohawk, they're gonna be like, all right, we'll get out of here.
Right.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna. And plus, he knows wrestling.
Yeah, no, I've seen him do like flips and stuff. I'm always surprised when I see him.
There's no way Metalhead can do a flip.
He's done a backflip.
You saw Metalhead do a backflip?
Yes.
Really?
He can do a backflip.
Is this on the mat, like with a springy kind of like wrestling mat?
Yeah,
or
that's where I saw him on the wrestling mat.
Okay, holy crap, really?
But I couldn't do it.
I can't even do that.
Yeah. So I was impressed
So
by
maybe
that.
he really is the president.
Wait. Prospect, you can't do a fucking flip, dude?
Maybe he really is the president, man. I think he is the president.
Hey, Metalhead, now tell us more about this girl. You told me she was a nudist?
Yep, she was a nudist, dude. Because like she told me. Because see, what happened was just like before I met her, we were talking on the phone. Before I went to her place, she told me straight up. She's like, hey, does it bother you that I'm a nudist? And I was like,
I was like, what? She said, does it bother you that I'm a nudist? And I was like, no. And she said, okay, because she says that I like to walk around naked all day. And I told her, I said, well, what if like you want to go to the store? What if you want to, pick something up, She said, oh yeah, well, like she puts on regular clothes. She goes, I'll put on regular clothes. I'll get what I want. But then when I come back, I take everything off.
Now,
okay.
nudists, that it's not a sexual thing. They just walk around.
I know.
And they usually don't even shave down there. They have these giant hairy bushes, Did you try to take advantage of that situation and ask her, hey, well, let's get nude together, baby?
No. Just
why wouldn't you take advantage of that? That's a perfect opportunity to get her naked.
Nah, dude. I just wanted to just get to know her. That's all.
So
all I wanted to do was get to know her. Just that's it, dude.
So what happened on this date?
Yeah, where'd you guys go?
No. I went to her place. When I went to her place, she had like this long, this long T-shirt, and I asked her. I said, "So what you cooking?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm making macaroni and cheese and chicken." She made macaroni and cheese and chicken.
Well, that sounds like a pretty high class meal there.
Okay, so like she said, yeah. She said why don't you make yourself comfortable? Why don't you make yourself at home? And I was like, okay.
See, I would have pulled my pants completely off at a nudist place. To me, that's like code word. Hey, take it all off. I just walk out there.
You made yourself comfortable. What'd you do? Did you sit at a table? Did you sit on a sofa? What'd you do?
No, I just went to the kitchen and I was walking and I sat right there in the seat, and she ended up serving me the plate, macaroni and cheese, and it was macaroni and cheese and chicken, and she had mashed potatoes. She served her plate. And then all of a sudden, she said, oh, before I eat, let me just do this. I said, what? She ended up taking off her shirt, and straight up, I saw everything, dude.
Wait, so she wasn't wearing panties or anything?
Nothing. She just wore, all she had was just a long T-shirt, and she ended up taking it off.
Did it look nice? Did it look good? Did that 6 look pretty good? Did it turn into like a 7 or an 8 by any chance?
Probably, yeah,
Or did it go lower? It could have gone lower. Did it go lower?
It turned into probably like a 7 because her boobs were like really beautiful. Her face was beautiful. She had nice boobs, and I told her, I said, do the 360. Show me the 360. So turned around for 360, and I was like, yeah.
Did you ask her to touch her toes or anything like that?
She asked me. She said, what do you think about me so far? And I said, I like it.
Right.
Yeah.
So what did you do? Did you eat your macaroni or did you take your clothes off?
What I did was just I was eating the food. I just told her, I said, you know what, sit down and let's talk. Let's have a conversation.
And now you're fully clothed and she's naked, sitting there eating?
Yep.
Now is she eating too?
Yeah, she was eating.
And you don't find that strange, or do you get like a boner or something?
Dude, my fucking balls, man, my nutsack, dude, was fucking just it didn't even fucking work or nothing, dude. My ball sack was just kind of just hanging, dude. That's it, dude.
Yeah, what about everything else?
Nothing, dude.
Why are you telling us about your ball sack?
Why didn't it work?
Huh?
Was she not attractive enough? What was going on?
Well, because in my mind, all I was thinking about was just having a good conversation. Because I told her, look, when we're talking, I told the girl, I said, look, girl, I'm not looking for sex. I'm not looking for no booty call, none. I just want to get to know you.
She wasn't hot.
I want to see what happens.
Yeah. Metalhead, if it was a hot chick, like really hot, you would have been pouncing on her, right?
Yeah, if she was a hot chick.
So what happens? What happens when your balls don't work? What happens to Metalhead? When that happens?
Well, when that happens, it's like my mind is focusing on conversation. I wasn't thinking about sex. I wasn't thinking about, man, you know what? I want to fuck this girl.
Now, did she, because to me, when she does that, that's telling me she's ready for sex. If she's getting naked like that in front of you.
Well,
okay, hold on. Let's go back. I got one more question. How long did it take before she took the shirt off when you walked through the door?
It only took her just about a second. That's it. That's it.
So she went to the kitchen, got you food, and took her clothes off.
Yep.
And now what happens after the dinner? Does she get up and start washing dishes naked, or does she leave the plates there and just approach you?
No, she just, after dinner, she washed the plates all naked
all naked.
And where are you standing behind her, just staring, or do you like try not to look too hard?
I'm just like sitting there watching her, just like watching her. That's it.
So were your balls working right then or no?
No, not really. I was just right there, just watching her. That's about it.
So when did your balls start working?
Probably like when she got a little bit more closer to me.
Oh, and your balls started working a little bit?
Yeah.
Like, what did you feel?
Like
what happens when your balls start working? Like, how do you feel?
Hey, prospect. Why don't we just change?
All right. So how does this end finally? Does she put her clothes back on, or what happens?
No, it's just like she was just fucking nude all like for the whole night.
So wrap up the date. How does it end?
How does it fucking end? I just told her, I just said thank you for the dinner, and I fucking walked out. That's it.
And was she naked when you left?
Yeah.
She wasn't disappointed. It sounded like she was looking for something more.
I don't know, man, but like
I think her balls were working like a lot.
I went out and I just had a good time. That's all.
Yeah. When she turned around to wash the dishes, did you see any balls hanging out the back?
No prospects. She was all woman.
Okay, she wasn't walking like barely moving her legs, right? When she was walking, she didn't want to let the balls drop.
She had a vagina, okay? I saw it, okay?
He saw it. Oh, he saw it.
She said there were hemorrhoids, right?
It was probably a nature one, though. Honestly, no. He said he saw it already, so it's probably a nature one. It probably was one, like you said, all like bushed out. And stuff.
Oh yeah. Did she have a hairy bush? Is that what's going on?
She probably it wasn't that hairy. It's kind of like trimmed.
Trimmed. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So, is there going to be a second date? Are you going to go to are you going to invite her over maybe for some like microwave pizzas or hot pockets possibly?
Nope.
What about some bagel bites? Those are pretty good.
Nah. You know what? To be honest, prospects, I decided
she's going to be cooking some ramen noodles with some beef sticks chopped up next time.
I'm not doing no more of this like chat line stuff, man, because I'm gonna do like the normal way, dude. I'm gonna go to the club or a bar and just go beat them there.
You're having good. So you're not gonna go on a second date with her?
No.
What do you?
I don't get this. Most people would, when they go to a bar, they end up spending like all this money just to get a girl back, maybe back home, in the same position that he was in.
Right.
And he got it for free.
Yeah, he's just calling this number, taking their free 30 minutes. And
so wait,
girls.
if I hear you correctly, you would rather spend a bunch of money, meet a girl, and maybe not get any action, and that's more appealing to you?
Well, I think the quality of the girl goes up tremendously. Like, if you're on a chat line, it's probably because the only thing attractive about you is your voice.
Okay.
You know? I mean, think about it. The first girl he went out with, what, did you say she was 56?
Yeah, no, she was 51.
So there's a 51-year-old blind woman.
Then you go to a 27-year-old nudist.
Right, whose idea for a good meal is macaroni and cheese with some
I would say, honestly,
chopped up
stay
chicken.
with the chat lines because at some point,
right,
the wheel's going to spin and
It's
that
gonna
little thing is
be-
going to get you something like 5'6", blonde hair, blue eyes.
Right, it's going to be like a
And
low
lonely.
self-esteem chick that
And lonely, though.
she's been fucked over at the clubs. She's like, that's it, I'm going to the chat lines.
And he pulls in the driveway and there's like a red van that's all fucked up too. And it's like, that's made to be.
Hey,
you know?
prospect, it's a white van.
I know, but I'm talking, she's going to have a red van,
It's
dude.
going to be like a match made in heaven. It's going to be a metalhead and this beautiful girl on the chat lines that her message was just so bad, like everybody ignored it. You know?
But then Metalhead took a chance.
Yeah, she just sounds bad. She's like, hey, I'm Bertha on the chat lines. And you're the only guy that responded. That's what you should do. Respond to the worst voice with the most horrible message.
Okay, I got a question for Metalhead.
What?
Did your balls work more with a 27-year-old nudist as opposed to the 51-year-old blind woman? Which one did it work more on?
Prospect, why are you asking me that question?
Who was more attractive to you?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What did we talk about this club? We don't talk about balls, okay?
All right,
if you
fine.
want to see balls, you know what? Why don't I just take a picture of my balls
and let me email them to you, prospect, so that way you can
Dropbox it to them.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Dropbox your balls to us.
Yeah, go ahead and send that our way. Go ahead and do it. We won't show it to anyone.
We won't tweet it out.
Yeah, send us a picture of your nutsack. Let's do this.
Yeah, we'll just keep it to ourselves.
All right.
Hey, Metalhead, before we let you go, I need to make that 27 video. So since I got you on the line here,
you said a 20-second video?
Wait.
Yeah, so read it back. I'll read you the script. I want you to read it back, okay?
Before you guys, wait. Before we get to that, you know how you guys were telling, I got a message for all the college kids out there who are listening to our show, and I want to tell to all you college kids, I know that y'all heard on the news about some college kid who did a stupid prank, and he got 15 years hard labor. Now, what's my opinion to that? Because you guys were talking about it, but you didn't mention the president.
We don't even know what you're talking about, man.
Okay? You don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about?
What college kid were we talking about? I don't even remember this.
Oh, yes, you were. Yes, you were.
Maybe this was between you and the nudist.
Kids out there, I want to tell you college kids that there's people out there who take pranking, yes, funny and joke, but there's people out there who don't
Was
take
it the prank where they poured, like, shampoo bottles on the hair? Was the shampoo prank?
No, fucker, I'm talking about this. It was a college kid that went to North Korea, tried to take a fucking poster. He got...
okay. So
Are we talking about the man in the tree?
Everybody's all fucking feeling bad for him. They all want him back. But you know what, college kids? Let me tell my opinion. That son of a bitch should deserve 15 years hard labor, because that's what the problem is with you college kids. You college kids think that a prank, that you guys take these pranks seriously. Well, you know what? Metalhead don't take pranks seriously, okay? I don't like that shit, okay? Just like if I went to the fucking studio and Bonafide and Prospect Dizzle decided to prank me. Oh, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, they put in a video. They put on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Well, guess what? It comes back to them because Metalhead don't like that.
Okay.
I would do some crazy fucking shit, man. So I'm just letting you college kids know that if you guys have a roommate or you guys have a fucking whoever and you guys want to make a prank, make sure that that person agrees. Don't just prank them right away, because if you do, then you're going to get your ass whooped. That's how you get your ass whooped.
All right.
And then all of a sudden, what happens?
It's a prank. It's a prank, dude.
Oh, my God.
Dude, it's a prank. Imagine that.
Yeah, it's a prank. It's a prank.
Okay.
All right, Metalhead. Hey, I'm going to do this commercial read. I want you to just copy exactly what I say, okay?
Okay.
Here we go. What's up, prospects? This is Metalhead here. I will be answering all the listener questions about relationships. If you want your question answered, just go to themensview.com and record us a message, or use the hashtag #AskTheMetalhead.
Ask the Metalhead
on Twitter.
Go ahead and say that back to us.
Okay, here goes. What's up, prospects? Metalhead here from the Men's View. If you want Metalhead to fuck, I fucked up.
All right, start over. One last chance.
All right, again.
All right. Here's
And go.
What's up, prospects? Metalhead here from the Men's View. This is Metalhead, and I'm telling all the prospects out there. Okay, if you want relationship advice, go to themensview.com. There's a link below, okay? There's a record button. You record that message, whatever question you want to ask. If we pick your question, and if it's picked live on the air, I will answer it, and I will give you the advice.
There we go.
All right, that's
Thank
good.
you. We don't even need a Dropbox now. We'll just clip that out. All right, Metalhead, thank you for calling in. Looks like your cricket connection is dying. Where are you now? You drove to the nearest cricket store, right?
Yes, prospect. What the fuck?
Why don't you switch to like T-Mobile?
What?
Switch to like T-Mobile or something.
That's what I'm doing. Look, prospect, you got to understand. Everything takes time, but don't worry, because I'm working on it, okay?
All right,
prospects, man. I am working on it, prospects.
Are you going to be coming to the studio?
Prospects, don't listen to these dumb prospects right here. Don't listen to Bonafide bullshit. Don't listen to Dizzle's bullshit, okay? I'm working on it, prospects. And yes, I am working on going to the studio, but everything takes time.
Okay, can we sign the interior of your van with a Sharpie marker? Can we sign it?
Yeah, whenever you come here, can we autograph it?
Yeah, sure.
We should all just do a photo shoot in the van.
I would
Yeah.
with like
totally
a wide
do that.
angle lens
I
where
would
we're
do
just
that.
like, ah.
Hell yeah.
That would look really cool.
Exactly.
Hey, we do a poster in your van. You got to drive. Can your van, I know it's gone 3,000 miles in the past. Do you think you can drive the 300 miles down here? Will it make it?
Yes, I can. Just
All right. How much in gas would it take to get here for 300 miles?
Probably 70.
I'm-
50,
I'll-
50, 50 to 70 bucks.
You want to split it?
I will.
All right, Metalhead. We'll split your gas money here and back, and I'll even let you stay at my garage. No, you can stay in the house.
He's going to stay in the studio. He's the president.
Yeah.
But you got to come down
Can
here,
I trust
Metalhead.
him around my daughter?
Yeah, you can trust Metalhead.
Okay, all right.
Wait. First of all,
We're paying for it. There should be no wait. You should come.
wait, Prospect.
Do you work on the weekends? On Sundays?
No.
Could you do a
Listen.
Sunday show?
Why the fuck is he saying wait?
Prospects, listen up. I just want to tell y'all that right now, I do want to take this van over there to the studio. But I got to work on some stuff on the inside.
No, dude, you got to leave the inside looking like it is.
We don't want you to fix it up
We
and then
need
bring
the
it down.
photo
here.
shoot in your torn up van.
There. To all you prospects, before I leave,
He's already making
I
a
want
bad
all
decision.
you prospects to go to the men's view, okay? And I need a vote. Who should be the VP of the club?
All right, man. We're going to let you go. All right, Metalhead. All right. Later. Bye.
Later.
And Matt is just a hangout.
All right, man.
Matt is just a hangout. He's not
No,
a prospect.
he is the
No, he's
he's
just
producer.
a
All
hangout.
right, Metalhead, we're gonna let you go. Bye. Jeez.
That guy's crazy, man.
Yeah, that would ruin the whole thing if he fixed up the van.
We should just honestly. I was like not trying to be weird, but if he offers to like send us a picture of his nutsack, we ought to take it and then put a big like
Fuzz it on.
not fuzz it or like censor it. Yeah.
Yeah, put that black thing on there.
But put like it's just something funny. Like, it would be kind of cool. You could probably do something with the graphics and
Right.
get like a little shadow going.
Not even a close up, like with his head, and he's just like holding
Yeah,
it
but
out.
we can like blur it out. We'll do something.
Yeah. No, I'll email him
If he
about
comes to
it.
town, we have to show him Austin.
I'll
It's
request
very
his-
important that he sees what life really is
Right,
like. I mean, it's
yeah.
important.
And have
we
him
can
move down
actually
here.
video that as a vlog.
Right.
And then you can
No, we
watch
should.
Metalhead in
I'm going to
Austin
talk to
as
him.
a vlog.
I'm going to talk to him behind the scenes. You want to do the news here real quick and then wrap up?
Yeah.
You got time or that's it?
Okay.
All right, let's do a couple articles.
A couple articles.
Do you want to do the one Joe Rogan tweeted? By the way,
Let's do that one. I want to hear.
I'm
that.
like, hey, did you even see it? Joe Rogan retweeted us today. I was so confident. I'm like a Joe Rogan fisherman. I've been retweeted by him like 5 or 6 times, and they've mentioned us on the show
Right.
to where I'm like a Joe Rogan fisherman. Literally, I'll get the lore. When I see the lore out there, I'll go check his Twitter.
Oh yeah.
And I'll be like, nobody sent him this. I know he's going to. I was so confident today. I emailed producer Matt. I'm like, hey, we need to get ready. Joe Rogan is going to retweet me for sure today. I tweeted
It was
out.
a good article.
Within 30 minutes, I see the retweet. I'm like, yes! So
It was a good article.
Let's talk about that one then. So here's the article, and you can follow along YouTube. But an elephant killed 5 people in India after villagers threw stones to scare them away. And actually, you got to see the video more than you got to see the what's going on with the article, because the video is what's nuts. It's the guy is this elephant is so powerful. It's unbelievable.
Oh my gosh. Is that a dude?
Yeah,
Oh, that's a like a scooter.
So like there's like a gold thing on the elephant that tells me it's like a.
Oh shoot.
So it's tossing trucks in the air like it's nothing. It's just
Poor
tossing.
guy, man. Poor elephant.
Entire
honestly, man.
trucks is thrown. It's that pissed off because they
He's
say
so mad.
they say elephants are really intelligent, right? And they remember shit. So like when these
You
guys
think
are.
they'll kill this elephant after doing all this?
Yeah, I think they already did. It said they shot it with a tranquilizer dart.
Why the fuck are they throwing stones at it? And
But do you
stuff?
see that gold yellow thing on
Yeah.
the front? That's what they decorate them with gold, and they it's probably a tame elephant, but it's just so enraged right now. Look at that truck; it's just tossing it like it's nothing.
It's sad, man. He's probably having like his worst day at work right now.
Yeah, but there's 29,000 elephants left in
So it
India.
killed 5 people right then in the rampage.
I think so. Yeah. Look at this thing.
I feel bad for its tusks because there's
Yeah,
a
I was
lot of
thinking
pressure
that.
on the tusks.
Right.
They're probably broken or snapped
Right.
or something.
And the tusks are attached to what?
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
its
it's
skull.
like a tooth, like
Yeah,
taken off.
yeah. but it's lifting probably what's like a
I
half-ton
wonder if
truck.
the 5 people that got killed by this thing are even 5 people that even threw rocks.
Right.
I mean, it's just
probably
five
not.
like, holy shit, this elephant's coming towards us.
There's probably some guy just walking down the street with
Yeah.
headphones on. Next thing you know, he got crushed, you know?
Oh,
But
anyway.
yeah, Joe Rogan tweeted that out. I saw that one. I'm like, oh, time to go Joe Rogan fishing. I
He
know.
was talking about it on a recent podcast how hyenas are crazy as fuck and like these they're huge. Like when they stand up, they're fucking monstrous. But it's like the closest thing to a werewolf in real life is like a hyena.
Well, the
And they're
hyena
fast-
bite
they're
is like
fast-
insane.
Exactly. The bite is crazy and they're fast as fuck. They flank the shit out of you. And like they're completely like, they're a very smart animal, but they'll tear things to they're like the land version of a piranha, except like huge as fuck. Anyway, so there's no surprise why he retreated that because that's an animal going crazy and it's big as hell and you can't stop it. So
Well, if you like, check this out. There's these guys in Africa that they tame hyenas.
oh god, those things are huge.
And they just hang around with them
They're so
as
big.
pets. But you can tell they're scared of them because they're all muzzled, you know, like they're completely
god, those
wild.
things are huge.
But look at these dudes, man.
That makes a pit bull look like a total loser.
Yeah, they're apparently they can fuck up a lion. They're just afraid of it.
Gosh. Anyway, what's the second one?
So the next one is, well, only reason I have this one is because the name on it. So this guy gets life in prison he's a sex offender and he infected a 14-year girl and a 24-month baby with HIV and herpes. And he completely tore the genitalia of this 24-month-year-old family member. Isn't that crazy?
Like,
what kind of
do you mean by
creepy guy?
tore? What do you mean tore?
Well, he's a 24-year-old and it's a black dude, so he's probably got like a giant penis. And he's having sex with a infant, a 24-month-old
No
baby.
way.
Yeah.
Gross.
Not even a 14-year-old girl and a 24-month.
Oh.
You know? And gave him HIV. This was in Houston, Texas, and they're putting him in, I think, in life in prison.
Holy moly.
He was here's about. He was sentenced in 2004 for having to only 4 years. But they're trying to put him in life in prison now. Or he was put in prison. But here's the worst part. You know what his name was? David Wilson. Dr. David Wilson, man, is getting like when people Google search him now, they're gonna find this guy having sex with a 24-month-year-old. And here's the last story I got. We'll save the other ones for next week. So there's a woman in the United Kingdom that was having a vigorous sex hookup and her tampon got shoved up real deep. And then the doctors had to remove her tampon. She was worried it had fallen out in the guy's bed, but she was too embarrassed to ask him. So she went to the hospital to check again. Yeah, the next day she tried to remove the tampon, but she couldn't find it. People just want to make the news nowadays, it seems like. They don't care what for. It doesn't even matter. She's a pretty cute girl. She's putting her picture up and having a news story like that.
If you're the guy, you go, all right. Well, unless it was dark, but still.
Do you think like she was just so into it and she didn't want to say like...
She's a pretty girl, too. That's sad, man.
Yeah.
So, like, I would never want and her name's on there. So now when she gets Googled, like,
right.
I wonder if you're okay for this
Alexia
job.
Lafata, 22 years
like,
old.
Well, you're the girl with the...
Look at her. She's sending in multiple pictures. They don't just put pictures up of you.
They probably took it from Facebook or something. Holy crap. That's pretty crucial to the story, the fucking room where it was done.
But do you think...
horrific,
I
dude.
almost feel like she didn't want to tell the guy she was on her period because she wanted to have sex. So she just left it in. Because I know my ex-girlfriend in college, her best friend was... one day she couldn't find her tampon. So she thought it got dissolved in her body or fell out or whatever when she was peeing.
Yeah.
She just couldn't find it. And then one day her boyfriend was eating her out.
Oh.
And this like little petrified, like almost like, it was like 1/10 the size of what it originally was. Just this brown petrified thing fell out.
Oh.
And it was her tampon.
Man, we're leaving the show on a high note, dude. This is good.
So yeah, it can't end well if you leave it. Leave the tampon.
It probably looked like a stick.
Yeah, it was something horrible.
From like an oak tree.
Yeah, it was petrified. Like, you know how they find petrified babies in there?
Yeah.
But they found that tampon. So,
That's
but
not
anyways, That's it for the show this week, guys. Next week, hopefully, we're going to get CMFK back, but we might have to look for a replacement because we don't even know if he has the time to do the show anymore. I might be getting an intern here. But thank you guys for listening to the show. Don't forget to go to themensview.com/Amazon. Buy your stuff through there. And themensview.com/Flip. If you want to buy Flip That Bonafide's book on how you too can become a hustler and make money from your house doing whatever the hell you want, but you got to take a pause. Remember that. Check out Rachel O'Meara. Go to her website, and everything will be in the show notes. We're out of here. Peace!